Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Monday recap. Really excited to share a lot of stuff with you from this past weekend because this past weekend was PAX. So in this vlog, we're going to talk about PAX, the conclusion of the tournament, and some new games coming in the channel this week. But not necessarily in that order. The first thing I do want to talk about, though, is the Goofball Goals Tournament of Shame. A big thank you to Bear, Nick, Rob, Ryan, and Mathis for all playing in it. And it was a lot of fun. And it was cool to get you guys' feedback and see you guys enjoyed it as well. I've just always been the belief that you can take a lot of things, pretty much almost anything, put it in a tournament, and it makes it a lot more interesting. And you know, it's not like you needed to make things more interesting with that group of guys. They're all pretty freaking dynamic. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Congratulations to the winner. I'm not going to tell you guys because it's a spoiler in case you didn't watch the episode today. But yeah, hopefully, I think we'll probably do some more of that in the future. If you guys have any recommendations for games you would like to see, that'd be a great suggestion. Put it in the comments below. So a big thank you to that tournament is wrapped up. So it was a lot of fun. I'll have some final thoughts on that. I'm going to do one more special thing for the tournament. Expect that later this week. I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm going to release it and kind of it'll be the stamp on the tournament. So from the tournament to PAX, what I did at this PAX this time around is at the end of, because PAX it's such a whirlwind. You blend days together. You mix up things. And so what I did is on my phone, I use an app called Evernote. I took just some notes to remind me what happened on the day because I wanted to share them with you guys. So day one of PAX, so I flew in Thursday night and I stayed the weekend with Mathis, who was awesome, to have me. It was cool to stay with him and his brother was there, nice guy, and his fiance. Really, it was just had a good time just hanging out with them, let alone outside of PAX. But, so huge thank you to him for his hospitality. He's a super nice dude. And I'm sure at this point you guys all follow him because, he just puts out awesome content. But so the first day we played a couple games. One game we played was called Space Arena, and this was the indie mini booth type area. And if you've ever been to PAX, there is. Oh, I wanted to show you guys photos. I'll pull this up as we're going. If you've ever been to PAX, there's an indie booth area where each indie game has these booths, and then there's a smaller indie area where there's like 4 monitors. There's a column, and there's 4 monitors on each side with a game on each side. And this first game, Space Arena, was a lot of fun because it was like Star Fox, 4-player, simple combat, and you picked it up within playing it for like 2 to 3 minutes, and it was a lot of fun. And it has a neon-esque graphics to it. It's not going to be released for a while, but it's called Space Arena, and it's going to be a lot of fun when it comes out. It would be something fun to play with your friends or online and that sort of thing. So that was a big highlight. I like finding those unexpected or hidden gems at PAX because really at this PAX there wasn't a lot of new games. There was Overwatch that I really wanted to play, but I wasn't about that waiting in line for 3 hours to play it. But so outside of that, there weren't a ton of brand new games that I was really, oh my, like I have to play this. Just had a lot of fun hanging out with everyone. But anyway, so that was one game played. Another game we played was called Flamingo. It's really another really simple game where it's set in a Western type setting, and it's kind of like chess, but essentially it's a really quick game where I put a piece down, and each piece you put down has a random number of guns, either 1 gun, 2 guns, 3 guns, or 4 guns, and they're like kind of bandit type dudes, and wherever you put them down, they're going to shoot. So you put a piece down, your opponent puts a piece down, and then they're revealed. So it's like turn-based, but the turns are simultaneous. So it's not like he puts a piece down, then I put a piece down. It's like each round is revealed. And then at the end, everyone shoots each other based on the order of number of guns. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's a quick hit game, and it's called Flamingo. So if you guys are interested in kind of some just lighter, I don't want to say lighter hearted, but like just quick fun games to play, those are 2 big ones that stood out. So other thing happened in day 1 of PAX was awesome. Was at the Polaris booth, Family Jewel 7X put on a live mini concert. I think he played for about 20 minutes. And it's so weird. You guys may or may not know who Family Jewel 7X is. He's my favorite musician on YouTube. And what he did for 3 years, every Tuesday he released a new cover of a classic game song. Not necessarily a classic game song. Could have been a retro game, could have been a current game, but he did his own guitar interpretation of all these game songs for 3 years. So there's like 120 plus songs he's done for free, and I listen to them all the time, particularly when I work out. And so to see him, perform in person, it was like kind of surreal. I don't know. It was like different than seeing, because I'm a huge Weezer fan, but I guess it was on that level, if not a little more. I don't want to say intimate, because that sounds kind of creepy, but it was like even at a better level than that. So that was a huge highlight, and I hope he posts some highlights to that, or some clips from that on his channel. So anyway, so that was kind of day one of PAX, and then got together with, there's a Twitch party, and that was fun. It's funny, you walk into these I don't want to call them industry parties, but like the Twitch party, and then you see like, oh, there's, iCasper from, main menu, and you just like see all these people you watch, and it's just a fun time because everyone's like super humble for the most part and really friendly. So that was a good time. I had a chance to say hello to Wheat, met Wheat's wife, you guys, DJ Wheat. He's the one that kind of got me started in all this stuff, starting with Twitch. It was cool to meet him and his family. It's, good people. And after that, we went with the crew, like, the guys we played Goofball Goals with. I had a chance to meet Jay Smith OTI, Player Uno, Fox, Kate, of course, one of my favorite people to hang out with at PAX. So really hang out with that whole crew. We went to this place called the Bleacher Bar, and it's outside of Fenway, but inside of Fenway. So when you walk in, there's this garage door, and you're literally out in Fenway Park. And we had a good time there, but the weird thing was inside the bar, there above the bar, there were these two, like, I could best describe them as like basement windows. So the basement windows, they're like this big and like this big. They're, at least in Michigan, they're like that, and they're the basement. So you look in the basement window from the outside, and except they're above the bar to the right, and you would see two people's heads there. And they could look out over the bar and look into Fenway from where they were. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Why would they have just two windows up there for people to stand and look out over the bar and look into Fenway? Well, it's such a strange thing. And then you found out, you go up the stairs and go to the left, and that was the bathroom. So the way they designed the bar is like, if you're using a urinal, you can't take 5 minutes away from not seeing the game, and you look out over. It was really bizarre, but it was kind of funny and strange at the same time. I guess it's one of those things you have to experience, but it was so odd because you'd see people stand up there and you're like, okay, I've never watched a person essentially go to the bathroom before, but that's what's going on, and it's funny, and it was a great night, but that just sticks out in my head as something I'll never freaking forget. And then of course, people that we were hanging out with started going back there and doing all sorts of foul things. Not necessarily foul, but you know what I'm saying. But it was awesome hanging out with everyone, and had a good time on day one. Day two, basically, after you spend a day at PAX, you get a chance to see all the games and play all the games. So day two, I really didn't play a ton on the floor. I was just kind of hanging out, and had a chance to meet some of you guys, come up and said hello. It's awesome. And what I was trying to do is trying to show you guys pictures of that. But anyway, so then day two, I helped to show off the the Star Citizen first-person shooter demo, which was which was cool. And so Star Citizen had their event. They demoed the first-person aspect of Star Citizen. It was cool. It was a cool event. It was good to see the Star Citizen community, and they're freaking passionate. That's about as passionate as a group as I've ever seen. And Chris Roberts is giving his presentation, and you just never have seen so many people locked into every word and the slides and the video. It was a surreal experience. Let me show you guys. I wanted to show you guys this. They normally have this. There's just a lot of stuff going on with the channel right now, and I can't keep my face organized. But let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you guys the crew that all went to this bar, and I should have taken a picture of the bathroom thing, but I didn't. Anyways, so while that's loading, day two, so we did Star Citizen, and then we kind of called it an early day meaning we didn't go out at night, and so what we did, ended up playing Smash Brothers with Mathis, his fiance, and his brother, And definitely one of the day 2 highlights for me was because Mathis was, acting like he was the best player in the world in Smash. So we all ended up teaming up on him and beating him. And, what they say, the pride comes before the fall. And then after that, after we played some Smash, I tried the Oculus Rift for the first time. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw a photo that was tweeted out. And it was such, if you know what an Oculus Rift is, it's a visor that you put on, and when you look around, it feels like you're there. When you look up, the camera moves up, and over a couple minutes, you feel like you're there. And it's just such a surreal experience because it's the only, you start to think that that's real and that you're actually in the place because it does such a good job. It's got a ways to go in terms of technology. Like it's kind of grainy a little bit. Like if you look really closely, you can see pixels. But I imagine, when the retail version of Oculus comes out, it's going to be pretty crazy. The one game I didn't get a chance to play, because Mathis has one, I had a chance to play it. Well, the one I wanted to try was Elite Dangerous. We just didn't get around to doing it. But that was pretty awesome to be able to mess with that. All right, so now I have this photo I want to share with you guys. So this was the crew, and this was at the Fenway bar, so you guys can see it. So that's everyone. And I forgot to mention Last Grey Wolf. So yeah, he was there too, and he looks exactly like my cousin Liam. And I told him that, and I think he was kind of freaked out. But outside of that, so that was PAX in a nutshell. It was. It's always awesome to be around a group of people that all share the same hobby and passion. And it's funny because I don't know how many people were there. Say, guess 50,000 people. It's like the one thing. It's the the cool thing that's unique about that is when you go to an event like that, there's no fighting, there's no pushing, it's just like if you put 50,000 people in a place, there's going to be some fights and things like that. But here it's just, I think everyone just all loves the same stuff, and there's a different level of respect, at least that I've felt when I go to these things, that there's just no issues, and so many people packed into a sardine can. It's like you would think something would happen, but it's so cool to see just how big that the gaming community is. And when I go to these events, I'm like, that's the furthest thing from my mind, versus if I go to a sporting event, that something's gonna happen. But outside of that, so PAX was awesome, and really had a good time. And if those of you guys that came up and said hello, it was awesome meeting you guys. And I know we got some tweets saying, hey, didn't get a chance to bump into each other. I'll see you at the next PAX East. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it at Prime. But outside of that, there are some new games coming to the channel this week. One of the huge takeaways I took from PAX was that, I stayed with Mathis and talked to him a lot about YouTube and really just kind of picked his brain and just learned a lot about things I can be doing better or be doing different and transitioning. And so I really came back from PAX East, and I think a lot of people do that, that are on YouTube or are on Twitch, come back really rejuvenated with a lot of new ideas and willing to take action on those. And so, you're going to be seeing some new series pop up this week, one of which is going to start tomorrow. And a lot of you guys have asked me to play this, and it's something that I'm just I'm not saying going in blind, but it's something I'm open to. I think it's going to be fun for the channel, and we'll see how it goes. And then I think Wednesday is going to be the debut of another series that I think you guys are going to really like as well. And both games, I have no correlation. They're completely different. But like I said at the beginning of the new year, I'm going to be doing a lot of new things and trying new things in the channel. And what you guys like is going to stay, and what you guys don't like is going to fade off to the background like an old Columbo episode. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump in to the channel numbers this week. And this week, the likes were up from 541 to 735. Comments went up from 261 to 311. And the big one, this is our second biggest jump of all time in a week. We went from -8 last week to 200 plus 211. So I know a lot of you guys came over because of the Goofball Goals Tournament. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. And thanks for joining. I hope you guys enjoy it. And so that was a good week, and I think when you collaborate, that's, just something that's always going to happen. Or not always going to happen, but happens if, you have a good collaboration, a natural collaboration, and you have fun. And so it's cool to see those numbers change and go up. And I just have a totally different perspective on all of that after, sitting down with someone who's been very successful and has grown a successful channel. And yeah, it's good. So with that being said, let's go ahead and transition. I gotta stop. I never talk like that. But as always, we're gonna go into the commenter of the week. I did change something in the background. It was a very minute change. I'm looking at it right now, and I'll be surprised if anyone finds the change. I'll be very shocked if someone finds the change. So if you do know what changed in the background on one of the shelves, let me know in the comments below. But this week's commenter of the week is Wormadon, because in the goofball goals game against Bear Taffy, there was a saying that is like super basic that I couldn't recall, and Wormadon just dropped it like it was no one's business. And I believe it was, and I have to look it up because I can't remember, but it said, I might have been born yesterday, but I wasn't born last night. I think that's what it was. It's right here. I have the memory of a young squirrel. I can't remember these things. Let me look this up because I'm going to mess it up. Okay, here's the phrase. Subwormadon said, Dan, I think the phrase you're looking for is, I was born at night, but not last night. Okay, so there you go. There it was. So that was a comment of the week. I appreciate you, whether you lurk, whether you comment, whether you watch. Thank you guys so much for being a positive part of the community. I'm really excited and fired up for this week. Hope you guys are too. I don't want to drop any names for the new series starting. I just think that you're going to like them. It's a good balance. And with that being said, I shall see you guys next Monday. Later.